We do try as far as we can to decomplicate what used to be called ethical investments. The fact that ethical investment is not a term you hear much now is a hint of just how complicated it's become. Responsible and sustainable are the main labels now, and would that it were so simple, even those are becoming, yes, still more complicated. Why? Well, largely to help you as an investor better understand what you're getting. And that means, yes, the regulators are getting involved. Now, the first step with this was something called ESG, which stands for Environmental Social Governance, and is a way of reviewing how a company measures up in its climate impact, positive or otherwise, in how it's run and its impact on society. All, well, yes, a tad vague. As an idea, it's been around for 20 years, but it's become a big thing more recently. And all big companies everywhere now need to publish their ratings to be quoted on the main stock markets and attract investors. A couple of random examples of how this works. BAE Systems, a big weapons supplier, of course, to Middle Eastern governments, amongst many others, has a score of 25 out of 100. And at the other end of the scale, an American company called Waste Management Incorporated, one of the world's largest recycling companies, held by some of the positive impact funds we recommend, has a score of 84 out of 100. So, okay, all good. But no company will ever be perfect, so the question will always be, where do you draw your line? And many funds and fund managers have been saying that a company's ESG rating is something they consider without much confirmation of where that line is. So in comes regulation, in our case by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, who are bringing in sustainable disclosure requirements. It affects investment managers who are offering ethical, responsible, positive impact, sustainable funds. Let's call the whole thing off, take your choice. The choice they've made is not sustainable, but sustainability, as they can, but don't have to label funds either sustainability impact, sustainability focus, sustainability improvers, or sustainability mixed goals. I know, but it's for your benefit. And I won't, you may be glad to hear, continue on to the EU Sustainable Financial Disclosure Regulations or the FCA's anti-greenwashing rules, another layer of help for our understanding of all this. Our approach here, I have to say, is to try and keep it simple. We work with just a few fund managers that we know well and trust. We acknowledge that nothing's ever going to be perfectly ethical. Even the Dalai Lama will admit his flaws, and we'll tell you how ethical a fund or portfolio is. And yes, we'll use the E word, the ethical word, because we find that's what most people actually understand best. We also use our trusty measures or labels from conventional carnivorous to vegan via farm assured, pescatarian and vegetarian, with vegan usually costing you more because there's a lot more work involved in vetting the underlying investments. Full disclosure, by the way, I'm pescatarian and oat milk these days, which puts me, as ever, bang in the middle, I guess.